Good morning, everyone. It's been a while since we've been on video, and I thought it was a perfect day to do something a little bit different with you. Today, I am going to make a pizza dough. Not only can I use this for pizza dough, I can use it for focaccia also. And it is an easy recipe. I've had issues with recipes in the past, and I found this one, adapted it a little bit, and I make it in the food processor. Oh my gosh, so much easier than pulling out the KitchenAid and trying to work it in the KitchenAid and then having the kitchen a mess. This is so easy. The first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to proof some yeast. I'm using the Fleischmann's Active Dry. I keep my yeast in the refrigerator, and that way it stays fresh. And with everything going on with quarantine, yeast and flour shortages, the best thing to do is always keep a little bit on hand. So I have in this Pyrex dish, Pyrex measuring cup, I have 1 1/4 cups of warm water. Now, my water is 110, and you can see I have the thermometer in it. You want the water to be anywhere between 105 and 115. If you go over 115, it's going to kill your yeast, and you're not going to have the action that you want. If it's not up to 105, you are not going to get that action either. My oven, I found out just recently rather, that it has a bread proofing time setting. So I'm using that. You can use, I dry the clothes, and I used to put my my bread dough on top of the dryer. So it's up to you, whatever you want. It needs to be a warm place though. Not hot, but warm. So in here I have my warm water, 1 1/4 cups. I have 1 teaspoon of granulated white sugar, and I have 2 teaspoons or 1 packet of yeast. And I let that sit for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. And what you want is this foamy action. So we're right about where we need to be. In my food processor, I have 3 1/3 cups of just plain white flour. I like some of the better flours on the market. You can use just plain old white flour. I have here 1 1/2 teaspoons of kosher salt, and I'm going to go ahead and add that right into the food processor. And I have right here 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and I'm going to put that right in there. That was easy enough. So after you've proofed your yeast and gotten your yeast and water to where it needs to be, you're going to add it to this mixture. So I'm going to go ahead and put the food processor together. And we are going to add it through the feed tube. Now I'm going to give this a little bit of a stir here. Let me get a little spoon. Beautiful. I am not much of a baker when it comes to yeast doughs, but when I find something I like, I make sure I continue to make it. So this is one of the easy ones, one of the ones that I like. We're going to slowly pour this yeast mixture into the feed tube and watch what happens. A little bit at a time, get it all incorporated. Beautiful. Very good. Slow it down a bit. So I have a nice ceramic bowl all ready for this on the side. And before I place this in that bowl, oh, you can hear the speed change. Now it's going to start coming together here in a second. Yeah, here it goes. There we go. There we go. Now we want it to get into a ball, which it is almost there. Stop it for a second, take a peek. Pretty much the right texture. We're going to go for a couple more seconds with this. While that's going, I'm going to spray my bowl. I love these bowls. I got them from Williams Sonoma a few years ago, and they have just been fabulous. I spray the bowl so the dough doesn't stick. I use an EVO sprayer that I can get on Amazon. Very easy to use. I use it on my meats and everything else. So, I'm going to take the dough out. My hands are clean. I've washed them multiple times. And I am going to take the dough. Oh, it's nice. It's warm. It's got the right texture. It says, please, I want to stay in this bowl. There we go. There we go. I'm going to get that off there. It is very soft, very pliable. And I probably should have floured my hands before I did this, but I didn't. So we've got this. We're going to go ahead and put it into the bowl. Now let me tell you what you're going to do. You're going to make sure that the entire surface of the dough is oiled, so none of it will stick. Then I am going to take some plastic wrap that I've already got to the side, and I am going to cover the dough. There we go. And I am going to put this into the oven that's already set for my dough and let it rise until it doubles. After it doubles, I'll take it out and divide it into two, because this is enough for really 2 pizzas. So for the long pans, it's enough for 2 pizzas or 1 pizza and a focaccia. That's what I usually do. I save the dough. The dough can be held in the refrigerator for several days, or you can even freeze it, which is really nice. So let me show you what else I've been doing, considering I'm going to be making pizza, and I love to use fresh herbs on pizza. I learned this the other day. This is a great little tip for when we're going to need to move those fresh herbs inside. I have a basil plant that's already up to almost to my chest. It's unbelievable. The first year I've ever had that, and I planted it in a different area of the yard. But back to this, so you can make an inside garden so you can have fresh herbs all year round. I used a plastic container, cut the top off, and I made a mistake on this. I should have made the top part a little bit bigger, but I used old t-shirt material, and then I took a plastic bag, wrapped a rubber band around there, made a knot so you can see that, and then fill this with water. So the top is going to be like this. The top is going to have your plant and your dirt, and then it's going to be in that water. So you'll have this all year round. Now, I've been rooting a lot of my basil, and it's unbelievable. What happens is, let me get one of them, get one of the pieces. So I take a cutting of basil, and then I use something called a rooter, and I put that in water. And about a week later, it develops all of those little roots. And so instead of planting from seeds, I can take my basil and plant it in different pots. This is one of those cuttings. And I'm gonna do this one in the one that you just saw. So all year round now, hopefully, keep my fingers crossed, I will have fresh basil. Maybe not as prolific as the basil outside, but I will have fresh basil. So anyway, that's the story today, and I'm sticking to it. Got to get that dough in the oven. So hope you have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.